St. Anna. Little snow on the mountain. Rain in the bottoms. First thing we notice is the orange flag is at a different angle than the boat. So this current is actually going down the course just a little. When I just checked it, it was actually going away from me a little. It was kind of going towards Mexico, that way. So I'm gonna try to check it again. Getting ready to start race one. We're focused on jib trim, heel, mainsail trim, and then downwind we're focused on who can trim the sheet the loosest and not have their spinnakers collapse the entire run. We're looking for no collapses on the run. And I can't find the pin end. I don't know what's going on. Getting ready for race one, Perry Series. Named after the famous coach Dave Perry. He used to coach out here. He did CISA clinics here. He started the CISA Advanced Racing Clinic with many people at ABYC. Often we get general recalls in the first races. The I flag is in effect. And look at this guy, he is close hauled. Oh, that's Stepan 4's old book, 4595. Look at, he's close hauled, and look where the pin is. So the pin is favored by, I figured 18 degrees, and I think it's increased. So I think it's like 22 degrees now. Checked it on the compass. And so anybody at this end is going to be in deep trouble, but it's probably going to be a general recall. 1 minute. Little school of dolphins, actually a quite big one, just swam right up through the starting line. Okay, 5 general recalls so far. Black flag is up. Race one. Weather mark right there. Got a black flag going. 3 to 5 knots. There go the porpoise right up. Oh, 8445 just got black flag, so that means DSQ, even if this is a general recall. Holding back well. The boat end's a little too favored, and young sailors, you know, these are still teenagers, they're holding back. The current's actually pushing them over the line now. I tested the current, it's going right into my face. Oh God, there are some boats up there. We've got 9 or 10 boats here. I think we got 9 boats here for San Diego Yacht Club. 9308 is one of them. 9307 in the middle. Oh, 8914. Wow. 8914 is just like, dude, I'm going. That was gutsy. Okay, we're off. Finally, 6th attempt. Race one. 8914 is Noah Stapleton. It doesn't look like he's got the leech way closed off. It's like the slot looks really nice in there. The main doesn't change much at all. He's just pretty much 2 blocked, and then the crew is just totally fighting that. If he does ease it, it's just a fraction just to get a little flow. Here's Alex and August. Too much open jib. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but the jib is just a little too far out for Olive. They're losing power. And the main is, you don't want they need their traveler a fraction looser, I think. I think she's more hooked on the main than he is. Lined up with the spreader tip on the leech of the jib, and the main is just 2 blocked where the leech can't be closed. And he's just holding it there. He's changing it, it's like a 1/2 inch. He's just letting it out 1/2 inch and then pumping it back in, barely moving the main sheet, just keeping the sideboards. There's more wind ahead. So this is just a sprint off the line. Oh, look at these guys. First boat to trap. He's got a huge lane, so you gotta remember that. You won't point as well if you're in trap mode, but your VMG is probably better if you've got a lane. So good job. These guys usually struggle in the first race sometimes. They come on and win the last races all the time. 9306 looks really good up there. That's the Pirellis. They look quite good. So this is going to be a really tight weather mark. They were the first to trap. They got the leech right inside the spreader. So they're going with a little tighter jibs, a little flatter and tighter. Look at this. Isabella, don't lean back too much. Although you guys are a little overpowered. They probably weigh 230 together. So that's good. The leech of the jib's too open. She needs to pull the weather sheet harder. You lose power. The boat gets unstable when the leech has that much twist, but that's good. They're a very new team. They're racing against 17-year-olds today. There's kids that have been sailing 3, 4, 5 years in the Perry series. Oh yeah, Dolphins upwind to the Borellis there, 9306. And she's trapping, so if you start to lose your lane, you go into hike mode. Yep, there she did. Oh, that was great, we got it on tape. They were losing their lane, so she probably said hike mode, and she went in, and that helps you hold your height. Trap mode will always go a tiny bit lower, so you gotta be smart. 8 knots. Anton and Wyatt coming around in 3rd. Now the key to this weather mark is no fouling, and it could get hard. This could get really difficult. I don't see any of our guys coming in on the port tack lay line, except for Vesper, and they might get through there. Yeah, look at this. Really short leg for 8 knots. This guy's Jib. He's on a broad reach right now, and then he'll shoot it down when he gets going fast, and the thing will float in the middle more. Oh no. No, he's leaving the jib out, so he's kind of in reach mode. Okay, isn't that beautiful? In race 1, go back and think, what tack were we on almost the entire time? Upwind. Think about it. We were on starboard almost the entire time. That means port tack downwind. It does not make sense for you to go on this, for these guys to go this long on starboard. If starboard was that long upwind, port's going to be way longer downwind. And if these guys lay the mark in the middle, what if the black and white type makes the mark? How's this guy going to gain? Anyway, think that way. These are the leaders of race 1. Again, you cannot go so far on starboard tack downwind when it's a huge lift. So if you have a huge lift upwind, port tack is going to be headed downwind and pointing you more at the mark, so you need to get sooner. These guys are sitting pretty far apart actually. These guys are sitting together, and you can see they're just rocking forward and back. As the bow goes down, their shoulders go back a little, and they lean forward as they're calm, and then right as the bow is about to hit the water, they lean their shoulders back and try to soften that a little. Yeah, and it's starboard tack slow. 8914 is, that crew is really active. She's kind of on the smaller side and she's doing more. 55, they're spread apart and the crew's moving a little less. They're a little bigger maybe. This person's actually hooked in right here, and she's kind of pushing in and out off the centerboard trunk. I think, yep, hooked in. And that's only because they have a lane. Watching technique now on the leaders, and then hopefully I'll be able to get some video there. That's Anton and Wyatt out on the left. They came around the gates and went hard, and who knows what's happening here. Watch this tack. You're going to see them come way around. They're not going to tack for a little bit because they're almost laying that pin end down there. But they're going to come way, oh, big, huge waves right there. They're going to come around to like a close reach. Oh, he's just going to finish there. Cool. So here comes Wyatt and Anton. They rounded 4th. And I think definitely you want to finish at that end. That was all right. Man, it was big waves to tack in there. He kind of had to tack right there to get second. So that was his only move. He had to tack in the waves, and he's going to just beat him out. Oh no, that's a great race though. 3rd is great. Oh, he got it. Yeah, dude. Watch his tack. Straight. That boat squirted forward a little. That was a pretty good tack. So you got to look at the finish line as a start line. You'd start more up at this end, so that means this end's further upwind. And that end over there is further downwind. So you're seeing the quality of this fleet. They're not finishing at the wrong end. And for them, this is easy. We'll see if the back knows. This is race 2. I didn't think they'd get the start off with an I flag. Again, they're jib bluffing at the top. Okay, and then there's Vesper and Isabella actually doing pretty well here. Race 2. Completely new direction. That's not true. It's just gone a little further right than it went in the the last race. Last race it went from 208, 210 on the compass to 228, 230. So that was a 20-degree shift to the race 2 first beat. You see the leeches of the mains are not going out very much. They're really solid on that because it's just that 6-knot range where you let the main out, you just lose too much power. Wow, that was a really nice tack. I don't know, I don't think I got it very good. I don't know if you can tell, but the slot between the main and the jib are just, you know, not too open. You lose side force. The jib luffs at the top first. These guys came out of the tack and they are reaching, trying to go fast. Look how solid the leech of the jib is. You cannot be too loose on the jib. You lose power at the top of the sail. Yeah, that's Noah there. So he just won some big amount on this coast. Cut somebody off here. Yes, Paige. They had a rough first race. Their jib looks fine. It looks like port tack is headed, but it looks like there's more wind out here. Looks like she's just about to get wind. Almost looks like her main's too loose. She's got a very high boom, so she's raked pretty far forward. Yeah. Oh, she just got the pressure. Yeah. Oh, come on, pull the jib in. Somehow her jib went out. You gotta go tighter when it's windier, looser when it's lighter by ½ an inch. Yeah, no, this is good news. Except it looks like the wind filled in from the right. It was already, had shifted right. So this isn't great, but way better than last race. Oh, that, at least they're hiking. Yeah. Race 2, first windward. Our goal's downwind. Crew sitting forward, skipper holding the main sheet right, centerboard up at, you know, pretty much halfway, maybe a fraction more than halfway. On the jibes, leave the board down. I mean, leave the board there. You don't need to put the board down for jibes. We're not roll jibing in this wind. We're just keeping the boat flat, getting the main across, and getting the pole across as fast as possible. Looks like Anton rounded 1, 2, 3, 4 black and white kite, right with Noah. Looks like Paige is gonna come around and that's 6, 7, 8, somewhere in the top 11, 9319. Okay. So a bunch of people got burned by going on starboard for too long, so now everybody's rushing now to get, rushing now to get onto port. But yeah, port does look closer to the mark. So the marks are down there, just below the boat with the orange flag. The marks are there, and port tack does look a little closer, so there we go. Borelli's had to do a penalty turn in the first race. That's why they had a rough race. They were probably 10th and then they fouled, so they did a penalty turn. And again, they're right around top 10 again. Cool, fun stuff. When I do the videos, I film the leaders a lot, and you have to, especially you crew, you really got to look at how solid their spinnakers are. It's a combination of the skipper steering to the jib. The jib is your wind indicator. As the jib gets softer, that means you're going lower, like below a broad reach. As the jib gets more power in it, you're heading up a little bit. The skipper's steering the boat with the main sheet a little. When they want to head up, they'll just pull the main in a touch. When they want to go down, they'll let the boat get really flat or heel to windward a fraction. And then you see how solid the spinnakers are, right? The spinnakers are not collapsing. Third, fourth, fifth. Here's fifth, Anton. Here's Kevin way out here, I think doing quite well actually. I think he's the one guy who's just killing it out here. We're gonna have to look at the purple and yellow kite, that yellow and blue kite, and then look at this kite. I think he's ahead. Okay, so let's watch these guys. Their jibs are soft, so they're not going very high. Look at that spinnaker, dude. That's awesome. What a shot. That is just a great shot right there. Okay, so let's go back to these guys. Now that it's gotten lighter and they're having to go lower, they're like, their jibs are very soft. 1061 went lower, so the Wills is trying to go lower. Oh, that's 95, not 55. So they got a little leeward heel and they're trying to soak. And look, the spinnakers do not luff. Look at that green spinnaker, it's solid. The clues are level. You see the two corners? They're basically level when there's breeze. When it gets light, they'll get a little out of kilter, but you don't worry about that. You just want them general. Oh my God, look how cool that is. Race 2, first windward. They're probably going to the finish line now. Windward takedown. Now they're gonna heel to leeward a little as they do this. Just a little leeward heel. Jib's gonna come in very slowly. Main's gonna come in really quickly. And then the jib comes in right at the end, like perfect trim, not over trim. The skipper does a check luff. I don't know if you saw him. He went a little high, had the jib luff a little. You've got a little extra speed if you do that heel and flatten right. And then he just went a fraction high, and then he just went into normal mode. That's quite a bit of twist, man. Wow. They must think the wind's gone right. Wow, Kevin did very well here. Kevin did very, 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 very well here. Awesome. Again, wow, that's quite a bit of twist. These guys are not over trimming. The leech of the jib's lined up with the spreader tip. Not quite. Okay. So if we get time here, we got to attack the guys in the back, our team, the people are in the back. Because we got to get on them and we're going to change the rate. We're going to do more halyard for some. One boat, we might put the pins up a little bit. The leech of the jib just won't come in, even no matter kind of how hard they pull the foot. So we got to rake forward so we get the leech of the jib at least to the spreader tip. Okay, we're gonna watch the takedown here. Oh wow, they came in on starboard back. So they're gonna do, I wonder if they're gonna do a Mexican. I think they are. They're staying high right now. And they're gonna, this will be great. This is gonna be great. They're gonna plaster this thing against the jib and then pull it down. So they're going extra high right now and they're gonna spin it down and just float it into the jib. Yeah, there we go. We teach the kids this every week. It's not as important on a 420, but you see how they did that? It's exactly what we teach kids to do, and they're just learning spinnakers for takedowns. Yeah, Mexican takedown. A lot of people don't know it, but America's Cup boats would be in Mexican waters when they were training for the 92, 95 America's Cup in San Diego. We'd be training in Mexico. The wind was better down there. Wow, their jib is flat and good. I think that was perfect. They're kind of the tightest guys on the jib. Tiller never goes to leeward of center. He's got it in the middle and then he just pulls it a little. Yeah. I think they're figuring out that they want to get right. I wouldn't doubt if we see 9308 working a little harder right for the next race. I don't know, but let's watch that. Really good watch. You're not going to see them play the main sheet, right? The crew's just going to move their body. Watch. She's going to get out there. She's going to hold the main sheet, and she is not going to ease it. See that? She'll pull it in more now. As she goes out, she's going to pull it in probably more and just hold it. See that? You let the main up, you lose power. You can't do that. See that? The main sheet's not changing, not changing, not changing, not changing, not changing, not changing. And they look good. Look at that guy. That is a great angle. Look at his main's luffing. He's so got so much power. So, just like we suspected, I don't know if you're watching all the videos, they get long. I kind of do them as hobbies. But there's 9308, the second boat from the leader on the left, and just like we talked about in the last race, I would not doubt that they're going to be hard left, that they were going to be working, trying to get a little further right, because they kept watching how if you play this shifts up this right side, you're gonna come out just fine. And there was, at the end over there on the last race of the first speed, there was wind. So it was okay to be to the left, but the angle, the port tack angle was headed. Anyway, we'll see if 9308 goes over here, gets a little dig into there, gets a little header, starts to step up, and uses that pressure. I mean, that's gotta be better pressure over here. My goodness, look at that guy. A lot of sea life out here today. Cruising the boat over here, crouching skippers. One of the things you look for when you're a sailboat racer is you're looking for boats where the crews are hiking, and if you look at her, she's hiking. And that was the wind we saw. Look at him. So I'm gonna call it. First is gonna be 8914, second's gonna be 9308. And again, last race, those guys were left middle, looking over here, waiting, going out to this left side. And they got more wind, and it saved them. But the shift during the race was about 8 to something degrees to the right. So this race, what did they do? They went to the less risky side. Oh yeah, they're loaded up. Cool. Does look pretty good. I'm just worried about, is there enough windward sheet on? I don't know if they're pulling the windward sheet on 90. Yeah, she shouldn't be looking around. She should just be still her straight. She's just going too high in the buff. That's all right. This is their first parry together. The jib doesn't look too bad. It just needs more windward sheet. And she's got to not steer so much. She just got to get the boat going straight, make August height. Just load that thing up right on the edge of too much power. Get too much power, hike. Yeah, because the skipper's hiking too much. The crew's just got to stay out. That's all right though. See, she's letting the main out. We were talking about that. You can't let the main out. If you're having to let the main out, you got to pull the vang on. As soon as you're having to let the main out in the puffs, you got to hike harder. I mean, trapeze is what you should do, but that's all right. Okay, 9308 came around second, 8914 first, just like we called it 3 minutes ago. Usually jibe setting is not the move because you go back underneath the fleet behind you, but there's no one there. You see that? There's nobody upwind of them right now going upwind, so they could do that. And also, what was the shift on the upwind? It wasn't a shift. It was a little shift, but it was a righty. It was a right pressure. So now by jibing, they get into the left pressure. This red, white, and blue vinegar is just perfection. Like one of the most experienced teams. He's healing to windward slightly. Yeah, look how good this vinegar is. Just right out, the pole's not moving. She's just playing the sheet, and look at her head up all the time. So if you're newer crews, you just gotta do what we're telling you in class, because that's what we're telling you to do. Don't look down. We told you that this morning. Don't look down. Look at it. Just look down. He's just fighting those sheets a little, and he's actually steering the boat. He's actually letting the boat. He's catching a wave right there. He's letting the boat go by the down, and he's just pulling the rudder against that just a little bit. Oh, that's a good bump right there. Yeah. He's just having fun right now. He's not even. Probably, I don't know if he thinks that's super fast having to fight the rudder. He's having fun. Awesome day. 2, 3, 4, 5 is 6 is Braden and Ben. Another 29er team. So this is a 29er team here. That's another 29er team. This is Jordan Janoff. Very, very, very good. Look at this. Remember, I was filming these girls in race 3. Or is this race 3? I don't know. I was filming them, right? Not easing the main sheet. And then here's Kevin and Holland. They did a number on the last downwind leg, that last race, just like we thought. And 29er sailors. It's really good that they can just transition from one boat to the other. Yeah, look at that. Oh, she's got it under the guy hook. That's cool. She just holds it under the guy hook. She just holds it from behind the guy hook. She's not even playing it very much. Yeah, she's just, see that? She's got it in her left hand just through the guy hook. That's a very good team. There's Kevin and Holland again. They had a rough first race, but that was mostly just, you know, the starts are, these are the most difficult starts in California, man. Okay, here's the Borellis. Ooh, we'll see how they do. Good, Zach and Will. Will is a 12-year-old crew doing his first parry right here. They've never done a regatta before. Zach is the mentor to so many people. Some good teams here in the back. And here we go, look at that, Olympic Tempest. This is a trapeze boat. Dennis Conner, I think, won a gold medal or something in these. They used to be an Olympic boat. A keel boat with a trapeze. Yeah, I've sailed on those. We had them in Coronado, had a couple of. Hey, Kylie and August, they need to sail a little flatter. She's got too much helm. Her main's luffing, so she's got to go lower. Yeah, they should go lower. Her main's luffing downwind. No problem. Look at this. Seriously, new teams getting out against the very best sailors. It's better than doing the baby steps through the FJ. You just get good at these 420s. They're a very stable boat. They get scary at about 17 for some people. So they're a very heavy, stable boat. So just good to get in there. Vesper is crossing here. She's possibly on the wrong jibe. I don't know if you noticed, but every single boat is on port tack. Ah, yay. So my Bluetooth is working here. The biggest thing, the biggest difference between all these teams is experience, obviously, but also just the speed testing that you need to do to build your confidence to be able to steer the boat and just feel when you're not going well and see when you're not going well. You know, you can just see it because other boats are faster. So you know, that's the biggest answer today. What was the biggest difference between first and last is it is a flat out speed thing. I mean, we're at more than a quarter knot slower through the water, at half a knot over the bottom or something. So this is a good race for you guys. Now watch, no one's in trap mode, so we know we're under 6 knots for sure, probably at 4 or 5. She does the backwards facing thing, he does the forward facing thing. And the same thing, the skippers aren't moving a ton, and the crews are just looking at the jib, looking at the water, moving their bodies. Yep, see her, there we go. Watch the tack, it's gonna be a big turn, then a straight, and then a head up. Look very carefully at the heel. Someone was talking to me the other day about how they heel to windward, and they were teaching people to heel to windward. And look at the fastest guys in the country right here. Not one of them is heeled to windward. I mean, so as it gets light like this, you see the lean of the mast? It's just that 1 degree, 2 degrees of heel, and then they maybe go flat if they feel a puff, but they're never over flat. Here goes Anton and Wyatt did a good job here. It looks like Kevin and Holland just made a little left middle work. Oh, look at this guy. Yeah, so the wind is gone. The wind is built in from the left. It's been windier on the right all day. Look at Kevin and Holland here, dude. They had a rough first race and they've bounced back big time. And you can tell all their boom heights are angled up almost identically. If you look at all 3 of these boats, their boom heights and their slots of their jibs and everything look almost exactly the same. You have to get the boat set up right. Raked forward for power, and a good crew who knows how to trim the jib. Kevin should just come over here and slam these guys. Wow, this person is, oh, is this Ben and Braden? My goodness. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so these guys are just sitting right in each other's face and both moving equally. So when they get a puff, both of them will move simultaneously. I usually like the crew to do a slight bit more than the skipper, and the skipper just really focused on not too much tiller. Wow, they just got massive wind on the left. And these guys are struggling to get back. These guys were 1-2 over here a little while ago. Here we go, look at Ben and Braden. Yeah, look at that, that's a big win. I don't know how they've been doing today. Another 29er. It was kind of cool this week. They showed up on Tuesday. The bay was closed, so they didn't get to sail. So they loaded their boat, their 420 on the trailer. The team loaded the 420s on the trailer, and then they unloaded their 29ers from the trailer from the weekend where we were in Long Beach. We were up here last weekend. They were out there, outside the breakwater, in 12 to 15 on Saturday, and swells and waves. This is good. So Anton's gonna round a bit. Now, could you have seen that it was windier out there? It looked windier to me, but you still would have found me doing what these guys were doing. more playing the right, which has been pretty dominant, but it does. I mean, it just looks, look where we are, and just look how dark it looks over there. So I'm pretty sure we could have seen that. It's hard when you're in the lead. You can't cover both sides. The orange flags are moving pretty good, but you can see it's a struggle. Look how light they are. I like what Noah's doing here. I mean, here's Noah. He decided to come out here because it was windier over here. Again, what she does is she puts the guy under the guy hook. What? Guy back. See that? Guy back. Roll the boat. Flatten it. Look how, see how it rocks to windward? Oh my God, did I get off the camera there? So it wasn't perfect at the end, but again, you do roll the boat. Here's Anton and Wyatt here in the middle struggling. It's light. That flag is going okay, but the boat is not, man. Braden and Ben are just the biggest distance leader so far. Kevin and Holland needed to pull the guy more. Now he's pulling the sheet. You got to pull the new sheet into the jibe. So as you roll the boat, you're easing the sheet and pulling the guy back. The guy is the new sheet, so you don't want to pull the new sheet after the jibe. You're pulling it before the jibe to keep the spinnaker square to the wind. Okay. Second for Kevin, I'm going to say that pink boat's going to gain on him. I think Anton is going to end up 1, 2, 3, 5. I think they did a good job out here. I think these guys actually gained on them because they went to the side that had more wind upwind. And I was wrong. Look at that. The boys have been good downwind. They gapped out on the pink spinnaker. Yeah, so these guys did overstand over here a little bit. So I don't think I think they're gonna round simultaneously. So this boat here is gonna round simultaneously with 9308. That's my guess. Looking at the angles coming out of the mark, I think the gates are pretty square. Last race, this gate was much better, the one that these guys just went around. How much twist they got. Wow. So I gotta get Alex set up better. Looser, more rake forward, looser main sheet. Look at that, right at the spreader toe. He's 1.5 inches inside the spreader. And as it gets windier, that's fine. That's good. It keeps that power on as it gets breezier here. Yeah. Nice. How he never really pushes the tiller to leeward too much. It's like kind of right in the middle or pulling it a fraction. Be the last race. I just looked at sail flow and the wind up there at terminal Pier J, which is up there 1 3/4 to 2 miles, and the wind is right of what we have here. 1 minute to go. It's really hard to start these boats. 9312's got a lot of bang on it for the pre-start. Oh, Kylie right in there. Yeah, Kylie and August. So what we told the youngsters, the new youngsters, is act like we just got out here. Just started. Wow, there's a good puff right there. These guys are gonna come off pretty good. I told the Borellis really kind of forget the first. We didn't get to sail this week and practice at all, so this is literally their first time in the boat all week. A lot of these teams have been practicing a lot. starts are really hard. Borellis are just surviving. That's okay. I think this end's favored. Okay, well, that's the dogfight. Beautiful in the last race. Look at that. And I'm not sure if it's a 2-lapper, 1-lapper. Here's Paige and Kristen. Again, a lot of these boats didn't get to go sailing this week, and they just had a couple bad first races. I think for them, I think downwind, they're not feeling great. Here's Noah here. Okay, man, his jib is not smoked, that's for sure. That's interesting. I think they just wait a little while, but yeah, it's just off the spreader tip. Windward sheet's not that tight. The boom is not going in or out. You notice that? The boom is not changing. They're just moving. They learned this through their speed testing. They learned that you're just doing extra work. My God, are they laying the finish line? He came around this one and he's laying the committee boat. So why did those guys go way over there? This must be 2 laps, but if it's not 2 laps, he just made a monster gain. Okay, good job, Kevin. Battled that. 9.307. These guys are just sailing really well today. They've been 4th and 5th in the first 2 ferries. 9.307, 9.308 has come back a lot. Not great though. There's 9.305. 9.305. So there they are. Much better. I forgot to ease their traveler when I pulled their rake forward. So you gotta, when you change the rake, you change your traveler. We gotta measure everybody's travelers tonight. 2-lapper. Long port tack upwind, so what does that mean downwind? That means a long starboard downwind. Don't be jibe set. Yeah, we're trapping. Big trapping. You see that? The main doesn't go out, so I don't know if you can tell, but that main's not going out, man. It's just a body movement smoothly against the power of the boat. Wow, they're overpowered. Look at that. So that's the signal right there. As soon as you're having to let the main out, look at her, man. She's hanging it. As soon as you're starting to let the main out, put some bang on. Their traveler is, if they put the bang on their traveler, yeah. So there we go. Just hike like crazy. That looks good. Don't lean back, man. Zach and Will. There's something not right about the leading edge of their jib. I don't know if they've got the jib cutting ham super smoked. There's something wrong with the front of his jib. The draft is super hard forward. Just not right. Will should get his feet together and lean back. I mean, lean out, not back. Zach should be letting the main out for fraction and putting a touch where he's pinching too much. You see that jib lock? Yeah, we need to let the main out and go way low. See how this boat's more of a planing mode? And now they're in smaller teams, so they're having to, like, do you see that? She started to let the main out, and what did the crew do? As soon as the skipper had to start letting the main out, the crew dropped themselves. If the skipper has to pull the main in until he can't get it tight enough, like they're just yanking it against the traveler, then the crew's got to raise themselves. That's all right. Will's brand new to this. Yeah. He's not done a ton of regatta, but yeah, Zach needs to put the bang on it and leave the main out and just keep the bow. He should be trying to increase the Will should pull back. His bow starting to fly just a little, so he needs to pull back about 3 or 4 inches. The front of the main's going to be fluffing in these conditions a fraction. You're easing it to release the bow. You're releasing the boat so it can go straight and not around the up. Okay, beautiful day, man. It's going to be a great run. The Borellis, they're kind of in a wave set right now. I think they're about 14, maybe a little better. Again, you see the jib luffing like that? You can't do that. The jib can only luff if you're already like leaning upwind a little bit. This is a good 10, 11 knot, 9, 10 knots. So maybe they were just getting headed, but again, we cannot be trying to check luff. It's not a check luffing condition. It's now the wind has not been like this all day, so they're all look like they're just trying to find themselves. Obviously, we're in the wrong rate setting. the apparent wind to go up and down a little. There's where the speed testing helps out. You just get a little more second gear. Good now. Relax. Don't bend your knees. Will, do not bend his knees. Yeah. Wow. It should be pretty fast here. But yeah, that's all right. Will's first regatta out here. Will should just be pegged out so Zach doesn't have to hike so hard. The boat's allured of him pinching a little bit. They look like they gotta pull their jib in. I mean, that other boat's just not bumping. They just gotta pull the jib harder. Oh, he just hit, I think. Guess what? I bet you they're gonna do another race. Some of our younger kids are gonna be whining. Long days are good. Again, look at the spinnakers of the leaders of the last race. Those spinnakers are perfectly pulling. The crew's heads are all looking up. I don't know if you can see that, but they don't look down. We talked about that this morning. And these guys are playing, you know, it's marginal surfing conditions. But they're pumping the mains every once in a while, not really pumping the spinnakers very much. If it luffs, they'll pull it in if it's the right time, but they're really just pumping the main a little. There you go. As you get puffs, the skipper just stands up to keep the boat flat. Now let's look at the leading edge of their jib. Just a tiny luff, but you see how solid the leading edge is? You gotta keep the leading edge solid. The only time they're putting the bow up is in a really flat spot. Okay, they are playing the main. It's a strong, you know. Yeah, as they went through my prop wash, actually. You can see they lost a little power. Now they're going to gain power back as they get out of my prop wash. Okay. Very nice. So she keeps the jib sheet with her. And he's just heeling the boat a little. He's got bang on. See how flat the bottom of the main is? So they've got the bang snug. They probably have it snug plus 2 inches. Just make the leading edge a little flatter up on the bottom of the main, and that it moves the center of effort forward slightly if you flatten the biggest part of the main. So it takes away weather help. Again, we're looking at the leading edge of the jibs. They're solid. Look at that. That thing's not bumping at all. Right on the wind, almost. In a flat spot, again, look at that. The jib's not bumping. Paige and Kristen coming here. Looks like Paige and Kristen are having to ease the main out more. They're having a really good race though. Their last 2 races have been outstanding. Here's the finishing boat. If I was them, I would look at the angle of this boat and I would come out to just this line and just let this bad air go away. And I would just keep sailing right now. I wouldn't do anything. There's nobody on the other side that's gonna get her. So they should just have their head down. See that luffing jib? That's the mistake right there. She's gotta go lower and Kristen's gotta lower herself. They should have went further. They should have went further. There's still bad air here, but that's all right. That's what we're here for, to learn. Gotta pull the jib faster and harder and jump out. Yeah. Again, just if you see the jib luffing, just gotta not have that instinct of putting the bow up as a puff hits. A puff is drag. A puff increases drag so if you turn into it. So you have to keep the bow just that fraction off the wind. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 for, so she must be 12 for Paige, maybe 13. Okay, great race. They had 2 good races. There's 46 boats in the fleet. Let's say she got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. In the 20ish range, right here is B Fleet Sabbath Sailor Kylie, C1 Fleet August, is youngest in the fleet, for sure. So it's so cool. They're willing to come out here, but they're beating a ton of boats this race. What we did is we taught them to pull the bang on once they start letting the main out. And we tried to turn, we told August we needed her to be a little like meaner. Just take control of the heel of that boat. Don't let that thing heel. And they're gonna be in 23rd. They're gonna get a 23rd. And that's just really good in this fleet. Kevin and Holland right here. The girls are going to finish within 30 seconds of the guys that have two finishes in the regatta so far. Oh yeah, they're on port, just tipping over. There they are. Look at that mass lean over. Yeah, get out on the trap, girls. Anyway, great. This is so cool. Yes, look at them. Number 90 right through there. They're going to beat Ben and Braden, who won the last race. Okay, the Morellis are okay. Okay, great job. It's going to be a tough start to get off. Last race of the day. Beautiful. Long Beach is so good. This is where we'll be sailing Olympic Games in 2028. Canada, Mexico, USA hosted the 2028 Olympics. And the sailing is right here in LA. Long Beach, just south of LA a little ways. Long Beach is one of our best training venues too. 9306. Wow, it's got to be pin-in favored by a lot. Look at her angle. She's going straight. Yeah. It looks like I don't see many of our guys. I think I see Ben and Braden down at the pin. Isn't this beautiful, man? I don't get why the pin's so favored, man. Look at 9006 just. That's called a let it go. What? What? Carly and Kate Jocelyn. They look good right there. See, Kate is pretty low. She's moving a little bit. Carly just makes up for it by hiking. She's the hardest hiker out here. So that looks really good. Leech of the jib's not too loose, and she is having to play the main just a little bit just to make sure she's not feathering. Okay, that looks really good. I don't think many of our guys got out of that start. I don't see a single one of our boats. Oh, look at that. Yeah, Vesper and Isabella right in there. What we did with them is we just flattened the front of their main with the bang. We talked to Isabella about just staying out flatter and not bending her knees. And Vesper just got to steer carefully and play the main sheet. Only let the main sheet out an inch or two. As soon as you let the main sheet out 4 inches, the crew bends their knees. That looks really good for their first bearing, dude. All they're doing wrong is when a boat gets flat, she's bearing off. Light spots, you don't bear off in the light spots unless the jib blocks. But people will steer down to build pressure. Here we go. We got the girls here. We got them with more bang too. So the leading edge of their main is flatter. And it makes it so they don't have to let the main out quite so much. 0-0 in there, 9-0 in. So they just got like a 23rd, and that's really good. They have like 2 more years in Savage. Well, that looks really good. Yes. Number 90. Yeah, she's not letting that main out, man. You know, somebody was telling me recently you got to let the main out and all this stuff. And if you watch the leaders of this fleet on this conditions, the lighter air, meteor conditions, they are not letting the main out very far. Look at that. Yes. Okay, so really unpredictable day. This will be the last video, I think, because that video is going to be small. And we'll make a plan for tomorrow. Boat fixes need to be made at night. At night, don't wait till the morning unless you're going to get here extra early. But there we go. It's been a good day.